Okay, mighty companions, I'm going to get started on time. So I would love it if you would acknowledge yourselves for being here first of all. How about that? For just showing up. For just showing up. Oh, God. And those mighty companions that are online, on Facebook, coming in on Facebook Live, I am happy to have you. I'm Earl Purdy, and we're going to do a what? Course in what? Miracles. A course in what? Miracles. A miracle is a correct perception. The Course in Miracles is a correct perception. It says if we have a correct perception, it's what? A miracle. That's right. That's why it's called the Course in Miracles. Those of you on Facebook Live, I want to thank you for tuning in. And the beauty of doing it live is you all get a chance to communicate with me and you get a chance to communicate with each other. And I'm going to start out by sharing with you. First of all, I would like to ask everybody to just take a deep breath and let's bring our energies in. It sure does feel good to be here with you. And I'm going to give all of you an Oscar. An Oscar for being here. We all good at acting nice, aren't we?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. I'm the best supporting actor.
The very best.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
There's nothing I enjoy more than going through the Course in Miracles. So let's breathe now.
There's a call for God, I see it everywhere.
Everybody's running scared. And everything is turning upside down. Is that right? The words I hear, they keep coming through from deep inside of me and you. It's telling us love is who I am. Guess what? You and me were not that far apart. Let's have some fun. Beating the same heart. Yeah, we've been together from the start. We can't get rid of each other all through the lives. Here we are again. Yeah. Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. Know that we are one. We are one. Welcome to A Course in Miracles. Let's do the next part. Let's come together and understand Christ was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose him as ourselves. Love is waiting for us to choose it as ourselves. When you choose him, you know you choose me too. Everyone becomes a part of you. And then you'll know that love is who I am. Love is who I am. Oh yeah. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Oh yeah. Tell me, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. We are one.
Yeah, yeah, we are one.
We are one.
Oh, we are one.
We are one. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to accept it. Some of it's going to be hard to believe. Some of it's going to be quite startling. But if you use these ideas, you'll see that these ideas are true. You don't have to welcome it. You're not being asked to analyze it. Just receive the message. Just let yourself hear it. You don't have to believe it. Just let yourself hear it. Because you and me were not that far apart. Yeah. Beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Oh yeah. Tell me, can you hear it? Can you have? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it. Know that we are one. Open your hearts today. Get out of your head. And even if you feel scared to death because people are being kind, you can take it. Nothing scarier to people than to be in a place where everybody's cooled out, singing, jamming. They're waiting for me to break out the Kool-Aid in a minute. Harry! Boom, boom. All right. Oh, can we give it up for us one more time? Yes. I specialize in very expensive tech. It's one of the things I specialize in. Cost me a lot. I was holding on to those reward points. Today's Spirit chose in the Course in Miracles for us to do the choice for completion. The choice for completion is on page 341 in the text. The choice for completion is a trip. I'll tell you that right now. The choice of, now remember, I don't analyze the Course. My job is to deliver a message and to deliver it as clearly as I can. I use the Course in Miracles substitutions for some of the words. And we're going to look at the special relationship. We're going to look at the special relationship. The first sentence says, in looking at the special relationship, it's necessary first, if you're going to look at the special relationship, what is it necessary first to realize? That the special relationship involves a great amount of pain. Yeah. Special love relationships, they actually involve a great amount of pain. A special relationship is a relationship that the way that you love is unlike the love of God. That's what it means when it says special relationship. It means that you don't have an unconditional, all-encompassing, all-forgiving love. And the Course says the first thing that it wants you to do is to realize that a special relationship involves a great amount of pain. Anxiety, despair, and guilt. Oh, mine. And attack. All enter into the special relationship, broken into by periods in which it seems to be gone.
Don't forget guilt.
Don't forget that. I love that first sentence. The Course in Miracles, that's the way it started out. Yeah. Right? This is the way the section started out. It said, first thing I want you to do is look at the special relationship. If you're going to look at the special relationship, you need to be honest with yourself and admit that it involves a great amount of pain. Then it describes the kind of pain. It says in a special relationship, you go through anxiety. Sometimes you go through despair. Sometimes you go through guilt. And sometimes somebody go off on you. It involves attack. And then it says what? All enter into the relationship, broken into, I love this, by periods in which it seems to be gone. Right? All these must be understood for what they are. What is it that must be understood for what it is? Anxiety, despair, guilt, attack, and pain, broken into by periods in which they seem to be gone. It says all these must be understood for what they are. Whatever form they take, they are always an attack on yourself, the self, to make the other guilty. I'm attacking myself to make you guilty. I'm doing myself in, but I'm blaming you for it. I'm the one that's making myself feel the way that I feel, but I'm going to say that you're the one that's hurting me instead of I'm the one that's hurting me. I'm attacking myself, but I'm making the other guilty. I'm hurting myself, but I'm making you guilty. And the Course says, I've spoken of this before, but there are some aspects of what's really being attempted that have not been touched upon. There's some other stuff that's going on too. Okay, there's some other stuff that's going on. So that was the first paragraph. So what did the first paragraph tell me? First, I need to look at the special relationship. I need to realize that it involves a great amount of pain. I need to recognize that anxiety, despair, guilt, and attack enter into it. Broken into two periods in which I think it's gone. What I'm doing is attacking myself to make the other feel guilty. Wow. 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 And the Course then says, and you notice I like to use the book because I'm trying to throw a hint
To read it.
that we need to use the book. How can I say I want to achieve something, but I'm not willing to utilize the means to achieve it?
Just like that.
Right. You know what I'm trying to say? All right. All right. I want the benefit of where the Uber can take me, but I don't get in the car.
This when you get a scooter.
You know, so think about that for a minute. I want to go to peace and love, but I don't want to do the things that would be necessary for me to do that. I just want to hear about it and then it should happen. No, it don't work that way. So the Course in Miracles says, very simply, the attempt to make guilty is always directed toward God. The attempt to make guilty is always directed toward the Creator. For your ego, the part of you that thinks it's separate, the part of you that thinks it's guilty, the part of you that gets upset, the part of you that thinks it's separate from God, love is God, God is love, love is God. The Course in Miracles says there's a part of you that would have you see the Creator and the Creator alone as guilty. So there's a part of me that wants to see God as guilty, the Creator is guilty, love has having guilt in it. And then it says leaving the sonship, that's the family of God. The sonship is the family of love, open to attack and unprotected from attack. Now, I don't know about you, but I can vividly remember when I was young, especially as a child and around 10, 11, 12, being kind of upset with God for putting me in the world to begin with because I was very dissatisfied with things that were happening in my life. And I said, how could God love me and put me in a place where I have to cross Colfax Avenue? How could God put me in a place that I could be attacked, that I could lose the ones I love, that something could happen to me unexpected, that I could get the flu?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Have you ever thought that? That if there is a Creator, how could it put us in a place that it looked like anything could happen to us? Right? The Course in Miracles says that that's exactly what we feel, that there's a part of us that is actually seeing God and God is guilty, leaving us open to attack and unprotected from attack. Now remember, the Course says you don't have to believe it, you don't have to accept it, you don't have to welcome it. If you use the ideas, you'll see that the ideas. So I'm not here to convince and I'm not here to convert. I'm not here to convince and I'm not here to convert. I'm not here to debate, I'm here to deliver a message. I trust that the truth in you and the God in you and the Spirit in you will tell you what to do with it. I didn't write the book, so I don't feel any need to defend it. I think that's important for us to hear. Yes. That's not the game I play as a teacher at all. The teacher's a demonstrator. So I'm trying to demonstrate more and more peace and love in my life. I'm trying to demonstrate taking responsibility for my experience. I'm trying to demonstrate not blaming other people for what I'm going through. So I would be an easy person to be in a relationship with, so therefore I have none.
The rewards.
That's called the rewards of teaching. People avoid peaceful people like the plague when they want drama. A drama person is not interested in being with somebody that's choosing for love and peace. So you just will get that. So sometimes people get in this stuff and they think it means they're just going to be overwhelmed with the amount of people that wants to connect with them. But it's not that way. And not at first. Not at first. Eventually. But not at first. Not at first. And one day you'll be glad that people who don't want to take responsibility for themselves, who do want to attack, who do want to project, aren't interested in you. That you'll be glad. And you'll also find out that even when you want to enter into a relationship with someone like that, it won't work. It won't happen. You know, be careful when you tell God to decide for you when you want a relationship. Because most of the ones you won't get. Because the ones that our ego chooses, the ones that we choose based on our patterns are not relationships that would give us peace and love. So love is not going to give us a relationship that usually we choose out of our not knowing what love is. And so at first you think you're being denied, but actually you're not. You're being protected. Okay? Like, you know, I don't care how much a little baby might like shiny scissors, and you take the scissors away, the baby screams and hollers, but you usually, unless you're somewhat sadistic and don't really like the little baby, you don't get a baby the scissors. All right? And so if you're here for the first time, you probably have a mixture of suspicion and open-mindedness. That's okay. That's all right. Because your believing or accepting what I say has nothing to do with the truth of it. Whatever is the truth doesn't have anything to do with our belief. So whether you believe something or not has nothing to do with the truth of it. The truth is the truth regardless. There are many ways to get to the truth, but there's one truth. Just like there are many ways to get to unity temple, but there's one unity temple. So the Course is saying, now the special relationship is the ego's, the fearful part of the mind, the guilty part of the mind's chief weapon for keeping you from heaven, which is love, because the Course is only talking about love or fear. So the special relationship is your chief weapon for keeping you from love when you don't know what it is and you don't think you deserve it. So if I don't believe I deserve love, then I'm going to form a relationship that I'll use to keep me from love, to keep me from heaven, as the Course would define it. I'll actually make sure I form relationships that prove to me I don't deserve love. If I don't think I'm loving, I'm not going to choose someone who loves me. I'm going to choose someone who judges, condemns me. And if I believe I deserve judgment and condemnation, I find myself irresistibly attracted to them. Have you ever been with somebody that you really didn't know why?
Literally.
Maybe.
Literally.
Sometimes I don't even know why I'm with myself. Everywhere I go, I'm there. Now, the special love relationship doesn't appear to be a weapon. It doesn't appear to be a weapon. I think that's interesting that the Course in Miracles calls a relationship a weapon. What an interesting term for a special relationship. But don't forget what a special relationship is from a Course perspective is a relationship in which you experience pain, anxiety, despair, and guilt and attack. So when it's talking about special relationship, that's what it's talking about. And it also says that whatever form that takes, I'm really attacking somebody else. I'm actually hurting myself and I'm blaming somebody else. But I'm really mad at God. I'm really mad at whatever put me here in the first place that left me unprotected. That's why I can understand why many people think of themselves as atheists. And they think of themselves as, well, they couldn't possibly be a loving creator with what's going on in the world. So the Course says, well, actually, I love this. It says, actually, All these things must be understood for what they are. And then the next paragraph, it says, I've spoken of this before, but there are some aspects of what is really being attempted that haven't been touched on. Very simply, the attempt to make guilty is always directed against the Creator. Your fearful, guilty, angry mind, the ego, would have you see the Creator, and the Creator alone is guilty, leaving you open to attack and unprotected from attack. So the special relationship is the fearful part of the mind's, the angry part of the mind's chief weapon for keeping you from heaven, which is love. Now, it says it doesn't appear to be a weapon. When you gave them their phone numbers, you didn't know you were handing them a weapon. Or better still, they didn't know you were handing them a weapon, right? Because you look so cute. Right? But I kind of got the suspicion that the lady didn't go home with the serial killer because he looked like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. How many of you got into relationships that you experienced a lot of pain with somebody you thought was cute? Right. And how many of you are trying to make sure your bait is better than ever before? Ding, 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 ding.
It's working.
That's right.
Cute today.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, they ate your bait, didn't they? Okay. It doesn't appear to be a weapon, but if you consider how you value this special relationship and why you value the special relationship, you will realize what? What it must be, a weapon. If you do what? Consider how you value it and why you value it. So we're going to consider now how we value the special relationship of pain and why we would value a painful relationship. The special love relationship is the ego's most boasted gift. The most boasted gift that my separated self tells me, my special self tells me I should try to get is a special relationship, right? And it's also the relationship which has the most appeal. The special relationship has the most appeal to those unwilling to let go of guilt. Now, I want you to hear that for a second. It's saying, I want a special relationship that I go through pain and anxiety and separation the most if I'm most unwilling to relinquish guilt. I want a relationship that's full of pain and anxiety and attack, broken into by periods where we go to the movie. I mean, this is straight up. So really my hunger for the special relationship is because I don't want to let go of my guilt. I don't want to let go of my fear. Because I don't know about you, but the thing I noticed in special relationships for myself is I'd be just, you know, grooving, single, not in a special relationship.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Nobody mad at me. Nobody care. You know? And all of a sudden, I'm ready to not relinquish my guilt. Right? So then I'm on the lookout. And then you get in a relationship, and all of a sudden, even though everybody's been okay with you, everybody's been accepting of you, somebody's saying, if you were different, I'd be happy. All of a sudden, you start hearing this song. If you would do it differently, I'd be happy, Earl. If you just stopped doing this or started doing that, then I'd be happy. You just need to cut down on this a little bit more, and then I'd be happy. So the truth is, now my guilt has started, where before I wasn't feeling it at all. Until I got into the special relationship where somebody believes their happiness depends on what I do, and their unhappiness depends on what I do. And the Course says the dynamics of fear, that's another term for the ego, fear. We're only talking about fear and love. He says the dynamics of the fear are clearest in a special relationship, for count on the attraction of this offering. What offering? The special relationship. The fantasies that center around it are often quite overt.
Don't say.
You start fantasizing about all the stuff that you're going to experience in that special relationship, don't you? Yeah. You're going to take trips together. You'll get some good loving. Oh, don't even mention that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're going to treat you better than anybody else. You're going to be the most important person of all. In special relationships, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about anything you put before your peace. Any relationship you put before your peace. Some people have special relationships with money. They have special relationships with their body. They have special relationships with their career. It's where it's anything that you would let take your peace away. The Course Miracle says that's an idol.
Yeah.
An idol is anything you put before your peace. You know, if that relationship is more important than your peace, it's your idol. If that person is more important than your peace, that's your idol. Crickets. I got to make the cricket sounds now. Okay.
Thinking about my idols.
So the fantasies that center around a special relationship are often quite overt. But here, having a bunch of fantasies are usually judged to be acceptable. Everybody understands it's acceptable that you should just be fantasizing about the very next time you're going to be together and you're going to do things together. He says it's even natural to fantasize about the special love relationship. No one considers it bizarre to love and hate together. We're together. I love your button, I hate your button, I love your button, I hate your button, I love your button, I hate your button, I love your button. So we're doing it what? Together. I hate them, I love them, I hate them, but we're doing it together. So we don't think it's bizarre to be with somebody and feel peace together, feel conflict together, have hate together, have love together. And even those who believe that hate is sin and that you shouldn't hate people, says we just feel guilty, but we don't correct it. You know, I hate my mama. I feel guilty about that, but I'm not going to forgive her. See, it's natural, but I'm not going to, what it says right, I'm not going to correct it. So we think it's just about feeling guilty about what you're doing, but you don't actually do nothing about it.
Right.
I feel guilty about the way I'm treating you, but I'm still treating you that way. I'm not going to actually do nothing about it, but at least I feel bad. You know, starving people, I feel really bad about it. But I ain't going to do nothing about it, but I feel bad about it. Right? He says, this is a natural condition of the separation. What's the natural condition of the separation? That we hate together and we love together. And that we feel guilty about stuff, but we don't do anything to correct it. And we think it's natural to fantasize about the special relationship. And we think it's natural to go through the pain and this guilt and anxiety and despair. That's just normal thing. When you're in a relationship with anybody, you just go through those things. She heard me correctly. When you hear correctly, it is funny. It is funny. It is funny. And then the Course in Miracles says that, now this is my favorite line. It says, and this is the natural condition of the separation in those who learn that it's not natural to be going through all this fear, anxiety, and despair and guilt. He says it's those who seem to be the unnatural ones. Right. See, I don't put up with none of that stuff in my life anymore. So I seem to be unnatural. I'm not interested in a relationship with somebody who's trying to limit, restrict me, make me feel guilty, attack me, keep me from extending. I'm free. I'm going to be free. I'm going to act free. And that's just it. Now you see why I'm all alone.
It worked.
It worked. I'm so successful. All I have is God. And that was the goal, just to have God, wasn't it? That's all I got. Now the truth is there are more loving people in my life than I've ever experienced. Yeah, the truth is, all those people that you don't think exist, those are my friends. Right? The ones that they got the same goal I have. Let's not try to make each other feel guilty. Let's not try to attack each other. Let's try to let each other be. Let's try to remember love together, God together. Let's try to see each other as innocent. Let's join together. Those are the people that's in my life now. And then every now and then, they don't want to get rid of their guilt, so they get in a relationship, and so I'm there for them. And vice versa. Right? That's cool, because the one thing about joining in a relationship is that it means you'll never have to go through anything alone again. You won't have to deal with anything alone. You won't have to go through anything alone. That's what's called a relationship. It means you're not alone, which means there's nothing you'll go through anymore by yourself. And that means that what brings joy to you would bring joy to them. You can't experience anything that they don't experience because people are affected by the way you, if I'm in a relationship with you, that means I'm agreeing to experience the results of your thinking with you. And your credit score. Yeah. Right? Right? If I'm in a relationship with you, my moods do affect you. If we're in a relationship, I'm not just the way I think and feel, you're going to go through that with me. Even if you're choosing that you're going to keep your peace and you're not going to attack, you're still going through it with me. Yeah. Right? So now that you're in a relationship, you'll never have to go through anything else alone. That's really good news. Now, many people get in a relationship so that they can join with somebody in the suffering. They're suffering and they just don't want to do it by themselves. But we're trying to go beyond that. Okay, we're trying to go beyond it. So the Course in Miracles says, this world is the opposite of heaven, which is the same as saying this world is the opposite of truth. This world is the opposite of love. I'm giving you definitions of heaven. Being made to be the opposite of love. And that means everything here takes a direction exactly opposite to what's true. Hear that. Everything here takes a direction that is directly opposite to what is true. Fear takes a direction that's directly opposite to love. Conflict takes a direction that is directly opposite of peace. Lack takes a direction that's exactly opposite of abundance. So if you want to know what the truth is, whatever the world believes is the opposite of it. The world believes you are a body that was born, lived so long, and then you die. The truth is, you're not your body. You're an unlimited spiritual being who is eternal, having a human experience. Your body is your communication device. So when you drop your body, nobody can communicate with you, and you call it dead. But what you just did was got rid of your communication device. You know, TV networks are broadcasting right now. We don't have a TV in here right now, so we can't see what's being broadcast. But just because we don't have a TV doesn't mean the station isn't still broadcasting. And just because people don't still have bodies don't mean they don't still exist. And the reason why you're not in communication with people that you love who have transcended the body is because you aren't taught you can do that. And you'll learn as you begin to wake up spiritually that your consciousness determines your reality, your beliefs determine your reality, the way you perceive it and experience it. So if you don't believe it, it won't be true to you for you. So if I believe that that's not possible, then I will overlook everything that validates that. If I'm only attuned to seeing the color red, then all the rest of the colors of the rainbow could be here, but I wouldn't even see it. If you're attuned to fear and anxiety and separation and judgment, then that's what your world is. So when somebody like me says, oh, you could have unconditional love and peace and joy, you're going to say, oh, you're just full of it. Because your world validates your belief system. Your perceptions, your physical senses are lovely liars. All they do is prove what you want to see. Yes. That's what they do. That's what they do. First, you decide how you want to feel about me, and then you use everything I say to either support how you decided to feel about me. If a person walks in and they go, I don't like him, then anything I say, they're going to add it to the I don't like him column. So first you make a decision, and then you go about backing that decision up. You know, you get up in the morning, you decide the kind of day you're going to have, and then you use everything that day to validate that. So the Course is saying, in heaven, in reality, where the meaning of love is known, I love that. In reality, where the meaning of love is known, love is the same as union. So when I say I love you, I'm saying I am in union with you. I want to unite with you. We are one. We are the same. We are connected. And he says here where the illusion of or the false idea of love is accepted in place of love. Where's here? Where the false idea of love is accepted in love's place, we see love as we are separate from each other, and we see love as exclusion. If I love you, then I only love you. I love only you. I love only you. Now, if you're the only one in the world that I love, it's going to put an enormous amount of pressure on you. I'm going to have an enormous amount of expectations on you, and heaven help me if something happens to you. So basically, I'm watching you. And I'm making sure nobody else gets my separate, exclusive love. So he says, that's the illusion of love. The illusion of love is an exclusive love, and the illusion of love is a love that's based on us being separate. All right. Now, that was 3 paragraphs. So before I go any further, are there any questions or comments about what I covered? Or you can make comments, questions. You get everything that's been said in those 3 paragraphs. That message was delivered whether you believe it or not. Patricia of Lungo.
So the thing I struggle with, and so my question is, how do you have divine love in a human body?
By doing all of the things that the Course in Miracles is saying, which is you get to the divine love in the human body by recognizing you don't want a special love, that you don't want a love that's based on fear, anger, anxiety, and attack. You get there by recognizing that there's a part of you that's upset with the Creator. You get there by no longer wanting the illusion of love in place of real love. So I'm going to constantly be using my inner teacher, the Holy Spirit, my guide, to help me undo the blocks, which is the thought system that keeps that divine love from being expressed, because we don't have to put love in us. Divine love is what we are. It's just covered up with this crazy belief system and our past that we've learned from the world. So all we have to do is allow the undoing of what we have been programmed and what we have learned. Just like opening those blinds, the sun will come in on its own. So if we undo our erroneous thinking, then the divine love that we are will just radiate through us.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was on the elevator, one time in my apartment building. This young lady got on there, and she just looked at me, and then she just grabbed me, and she hugged me till she got to her floor, and then she got off. She never said a word. Okay? She saw me because she was safe to do that.
Yes.
See, some beings recognize love. So she was safe. There was nothing I was going to do. You know what I mean? So you'll get to the point where people will see you and recognize you and respond to you with love without you having to do anything to make them love you. See, we're so used to having to get love that it's hard for us sometimes to imagine that there are honest people, that there are safe people, and that because I'm all suspicious, then I think everybody's like that. But the truth is there are a lot of people who can recognize love because now they're loving themselves, so they can recognize love more. But until you don't love yourself, you can't recognize love.
Yes.
So I got to get rid of the blocks. To me, look, Patricia, you are divine love.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you are divine love. Just depending on where we're at and what's going on. Okay, now. and that's right. Okay. Anybody else? Comments?
I was just going to say that it makes sense that special relationships or false idols in general are attack upon Creator, because it's me saying I don't have enough or I'm not enough through Creator, so I need this person to be more than creation or more than Creator is. And so of course I'm going to always be disappointed or have grievances, because there is nothing that's as satiating or satisfying as actually accepting divine love from Spirit. And so it's I'm expecting you to fulfill a function that's not yours to fulfill. And so therefore it's always going to feel inadequate, and I'm always going to be upset that I'm not tapping into what I think I'm using you for.
You hear that? I'm not tapping into what I think I'm using you for. That's right. That's right. That's right. I've said many times, expectation is the mother of grievances. When I put that script on you, then I'm going to be upset with you. And I don't need any of you to make me happy. And that's not arrogant, and that's not selfish. That's a blessing. Because if I don't need you to make me happy, I don't have anything to be mad at you about. I'll say that again. If I don't need you to make me happy, I don't have anything to be angry at you about. And I'm more accepting of who and what you are. And whatever you don't want to give me, somebody will. I say that again. Whatever you don't want to give me, somebody will. So it'd be much better for me to ask the universe to connect me with who loves me than for me to pick out who it is. Because I'm usually going to pick it out based on how I feel about myself. And if I'm not loving myself completely yet, I'm just going to choose my pattern again. So the Course says, before I go to the next paragraph, anybody else?
I don't need you to make me happy.
Yeah, I don't need you to make me happy, but we do need each other to help each other remember who we really are. We do need each other to help each other let go of the blocks to recognizing what happiness is. That we do need each other to recognize the truth together. But I don't need you to see. I get easily bored with people who are programs. Most people are just programs. From the time they were born, people described to them the nature of reality, what was true, what was false, what they should value, what they should believe. They bought into it. And so they just do whatever society and culture tells them to do because they're programmed, they're robots. So you be with them a little while and you know exactly what they're going to do every time you're with them. You know exactly what they're going to eat, you know how they're going to dress, you know how to, you just know them, And because you think you know them, you don't let them become new, because if they become new, they may act outside the paradigm you think they need to be to make you feel safe. Right? So then they become boring because you don't let them continue to evolve and grow because you're too concerned about your own happiness. Right? So what I'm doing with the people in my life is I'm supporting them being who they are, so that it's kind of selfish because I know that they are miraculous beings. And if I take the program off and I take my script off, they'll be constantly surprising me with really cool stuff that I never would experience otherwise. Because we are tremendous treasures, and really all of us are interesting if we ever friggin' be ourselves and get past the programming based on what we've experienced in the past, which we know isn't the truth because it ain't making nobody happy consistently. So the Course says that's how you know what you've learned. You need to let it go. You're not happy. You're not inspired. You're not open. That's how you should know whatever you believe. And then people go, well, somebody's just going to take advantage of you. Nobody can take advantage of a person who knows who they are. Because they're taking responsibility for their experience. They're giving because they want to. And I'm going to take the risk. Sometimes it may look like it worked out. Sometimes it may not. But I will learn from that. I will see that failure as a success. And then ask myself, what was the lesson in that for me? Not rush into another relationship before I've given myself that assessment, and then do it again. And most of all, realize that the next person is not the past person. The next person is not the past person. I am not your old boyfriend. All right? So don't put on me and deal with me like I'm him. Because then you'll create the same experience for yourself no matter how I'm being. Because you're going to only focus on the things that remind you of him. And sooner or later, you'll try to create a self-fulfilling prophecy for yourself. So, yeah, you're going to have to trust. Yes, you're going to have to open yourself up. You can't be all closed and then think you're going to have relationships that are totally loving beyond anything you've ever done before. But because of the Course and many other spiritual books, this isn't the only one, it teaches you how to tell the difference between when you're in the presence of real love and when you're not. Because he says we don't know the difference. If we knew the difference, we wouldn't hurt ourselves so much. So we actually need to learn the difference between what's real love and what's just a pleasant form of fear.
Wow.
He says what we have is a pleasant form of fear. If I'm in a relationship with you and I love you and it's a special relationship, now I'm concerned if I will lose you, if I will lose it. So it really is just fear, but it's in a form I like. In an appearance I like. Yes.
So you've been speaking a lot about special relationships around with people, and you briefly mentioned
other special relationships? Can you talk more about that?
Well, another special relationship would be if I didn't make a certain if I didn't make a certain amount of money, then I'm not going to give myself peace. Now I got a special relationship with my money because now I think that my peace and happiness is somehow dependent on my bank account. And then I go through anxiety, despair, guilt, and attack. If it's me attacking myself around my money, would be one example. You know, I definitely have had special relationships with my cars. Yeah, I know people that love their car more than they love people.
Yes.
Right? As a matter of fact, on HBO one night, I saw a man that was in love with his car. And so, you saw that too, didn't you? We got more in common than I thought. Hello, yeah. You know, so it's anything in the world that I would give myself that attack, that pain, that anxiety about to the point I wouldn't keep my peace would be the special relationship. But don't forget, the Course is telling us that there's a part of us that thinks if I suffer enough, I'll get the attention of God. Right? If I'm suffering enough, the universe will come to my rescue. You know, and so the Course is saying it's in the special relationship born of the hidden wish for special love from God. That's deep. Did you hear what they just said? I really have a hidden wish to get special love from my Creator. I really want my Creator to treat me special, just like I want people to treat me special. I want to be the favorite of love. I want to be the favorite of the Creator. He says, I want a special relationship because I have a hidden wish for special love. You know, if my Creator is not going to make me special, you are. If somebody going to make me special. Yeah. Don't look, if God ain't going to make me special, you going to do it.
Yeah.
And in return, you'll get my dysfunctional love. He says, it's in that hidden wish for a special love from God that the fearful part of the man's hatred triumphs. For the special relationship is the renunciation of the love of God. Whoa! Whoa! The special relationship is the renunciation of the love of my Creator. What does that mean? It means the special relationship is the attempt to secure for the self the specialness that my Creator denied me. My Creator, I don't like what my Creator loves. You see, my Creator loves everybody. And my Creator loves everybody equally. So I don't want that. I want more. I want to be special. And so actually it's the renunciation of the love of God, because the love of God is not special. The love of God is inclusive. So I want to renounce the way God loves, and I have a hidden wish to get the specialness that you all are going to give me. You know, now a monogamous relationship is generally, if you think of it in romantic terms, generally wanting specialness with one person. A polyamorous relationship is usually wanting specialness with a lot of people. It's not anymore the love of God as the monogamous relationship is the love of God. It's just, I checked it all out.
Research.
I've done a lot of research in my life, and I'm going to give you all the results of my findings.
Thank you.
That's right. That's why I need a teaching that's about getting rid of your guilt. You know what I'm saying? I remember somebody I was dating one time. We was going to check it out. We were going to go check out the polyamory meeting, right? We went to the polyamory meeting. And we were sitting there, and they had like a ton of rules. You talking about rules? Woo, Lord have mercy. Every time you got ready to do something, you had to call somebody else and make sure they were okay about the time you spent with this person over there. It was like, oh my God, it's just a special relationship on steroids. That's all it is. It's the same thing, trying to make sure somebody didn't feel slighted. So I'm not into monogamous relationships. I'm not into polyamorous relationships. I'm into open relationships. And what I mean by open relationships is you're free. Y'all understand? Mm-hmm. That's what it means. It means you tell me what you want to do, and I say, you do it. If that's what you really want to do. Yeah. And what I can't handle, I'll take care of myself. I won't attack you, and I'll deal with it in the way that's most peaceful for me.
Simple.
You know, but I'm not going to attack you. Because if I attack you, you're going to stop communicating with me. It's only communication that makes the relationship real. It's not any more real than the more we communicate in an unlimited way without fear. Yeah. You know how satisfying it feels to be with somebody that you feel like you can tell them anything, and they receive it in a way that they don't attack you. That's better than sex. Yeah. It's to have no fear in the communication. And you feel completely safe. See, my goal in all my relationships with anyone is that they feel safe with me. Because I believe that the Holy Spirit, the higher power, will meet whatever the need is that I have. The Course in Miracles says that I will meet your foolish needs and your real needs. I just won't keep meeting your foolish needs if you're going to keep using what I'm providing you with to stay in your ignorance, in your unawareness of the truth. So I'm not going to give you something and you're going to not use it as part of a tool for your awakening to love. Okay, so it's not saying you can't have special relationships. The Course in Miracles says, I just want to take away as much fear from your special relationships as you will allow me, so that your relationship can be used to spread joy upon thousands and thousands who think that love is fear. So the Course says, I really want to use your special relationship as an example of what real love could look like. That's the transformation of the relationship from being a special relationship to a holy relationship. Just means it's a relationship that you're in and finally you're actually enjoying your friggin' self. And you feel safe and loved in it. So it's not trying to snatch your one. If you want to do monogamy, pornogamy, or whatever you want to do, there's monogamy and there's pornogamy. Just don't make the error of joining with someone who has a different purpose than you. That's where the problem comes in. Is the person who wants the open relationship or the monogamous relationship, if they're thinking in those, then I'd be damned if they don't fall in love with the one person and go, I'm not interested in that at all. That means you don't really want what you're asking for. Whenever you seek for what you want with somebody that doesn't want to give it to you, why don't you just admit you don't want it yourself? Or as you would go in the direction of where it's available. When you love yourself, you go in the direction of where you can have what you want. When you don't love yourself, you forever falling in love with people who are unavailable in the way that you want. Because you don't really want to be in a relationship anyway. You just want to pretend you want one. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. But doesn't that make sense? If I'm really serious about wanting a glass of water, then I'm not going to go up to the library. Yeah. I'm going to go to the kitchen. So when I hear people constantly talking about what they want, yet I hear them constantly going after people who don't want to give it to them, I always say, why don't you just admit that that's not what you really want? Then you'd have peace. Then you stop feeling like life was denying you something. Because it's not. It's not. The Course in Miracles says the fear-based mind has one rule: seek and do not find. And the love-based mind has another rule: seek and you will find. So when you love yourself, I only play the romantic seduction kind of a game if I know the person is going to absolutely have the same end-game goal I do. Then we can do the dance. Yeah. But I'm not going to try to do the dance with somebody who don't want to dance with me. Right. And then I'm going to try to convince them to dance. You know, because really, basically, I feel like with most women, in the first 7 seconds, they made their decision. Y'all know you do. Yeah. You know you do. You make the decision, and then you do the dance. I make the decision, and then I do the dance. We know when it's there and when it's not there. You can't make chemistry happen between you and another person. You've had enough experiences to know that. But they are getting you in touch with your pattern. That's why you attract it, because they're giving you another opportunity to either let go of the block or to appreciate how far you've come. So I think the Course in Miracles is a book that teaches how to go through spiritual awakening through relationship. The whole teaching is about how to use relationship as a tool for spiritual awakening. That's what the whole thing is about. Yeah. So if you're really sincere about wanting to get your relationships together, this is the book, especially your relationship with the Creator. Yes. Because everything in your life, it says, is a reflection of your relationship with God. He says, you really want to know what your relationship to the Creator is? Take a look at your personal relationships. That's the way you relate to your Creator. Now, woohoo. So if I think you're unavailable, I think my Creator is unavailable. If I think you're demanding, I think love is demanding. If I think that I got to sacrifice for you, I think I got to sacrifice for God. So if you want to really know, according to this, which we don't have to believe, then it says your relationship with each other is a reflection of your relationship to love, is a reflection of your relationship to God. Tell me what your story is about relationship, and now you know what your story is about your Creator. And if you say, I don't even believe in a Creator, then you don't believe in your relationship.
That just blew my mind.
I know. I was a white woman when I started doing this. This stuff is transformation, man. I'm trying to warning you right now. Don't mess around with this. Unless you're serious. It is. It's nothing is a mystery if we're willing to open our mind up and say, I don't know. When you say you know, then there's no need for the universe to tell you anything. Think about it. If I know, there's no need. I'm not asking for help. So the Course in Miracles, the very first lessons, it said, these thoughts, I don't know, I don't understand anything I see. The early workbook lessons are all about you telling yourself, I don't know, I don't understand. Because if you think you know, nothing can get in. So it's really, I don't know. See, I like to have a really loving, I'm blessed with loving relationships. I really love to have a really loving relationship. So what I would say to myself is, what would it take for me to have a really loving relationship beyond my wildest imagination? Because then I'm giving the universe permission to give me something beyond my understanding. Because if I keep staying within the context of my understanding, I could be limiting myself from having something I could have right now. Right now. So ask for what's beyond your understanding. Ask for love that's beyond what you know what it even is. Come out of that I don't know place so the universe can answer your prayer in a way that you don't expect it to. Then it can come to you faster. If I say I want to experience love, then the universe can send into my life the person who could give me that love right now. But if I say it's got to be you, and you don't even like me, then it's going to be a lot of work. So as soon as you decide on the form of what you want, you have lost the understanding of its purpose. See, if my purpose is love, but I decide it's got to be you, then I've lost sight of my purpose. My purpose is to have love, not you, unless you are the real channel for that love. Yes. So things will come to you faster if you give the universe permission to bring it to you in the way that would be best for you, even beyond what you think you know. Then for you to decide every little thing and then shut your mind to the other ways it could be coming to you because you're so intent on it coming the way that you've decided. And if you are the kind of person that wants to decide every little thing, the Course in Miracles says, that's okay, but then tell yourself, if I make no decisions by myself, this will be the day that will be given to me. But now I'd rather have the content more than the form. Because I've never had the content come in a form that I didn't appreciate. If I love you, you are beautiful to me. If I love you, you are satisfying to me. So where love is, the form is going to be satisfying. It's only where there is not love that the form has to be a certain way before you're satisfied. Ooh. You said together. So I'm going to complete this by saying, I love this. It is essential to the preservation of your fear that you believe that specialness isn't hell. To keep your ego going, you have to believe that seeking someone out to fulfill your script that would give you the anxiety and despair, it's got to be the way you want it or else. He says, there's a part of you that if it wants to keep your guilt going, if it wants to keep your fear going, you've got to believe that this is heaven, the way we do relationships, instead of hell. He says, for your ego, the part of you that doesn't love you, the part of you that feels guilty, the part of you that feels separate, the part of you that thinks is a body, the part of you that feels afraid, he says that part of you would never have you see that separation, specialness, could only be lost, being the one condition in which love could not be. The one condition that love could not be is when you're separate and exclusive. Because how can I feel like I'm loved and I'm all alone and totally separate? So let's acknowledge ourselves for hearing that much. For just hearing it. Just hearing it. And when I don't get a chance to get through the whole thing, I'm hoping that what you would do is on your own, you will go back and you will go over the whole thing, right? Right? So I'm going to do a quick little recap before we run out. And so right now, I want to, we're going to do the financial expression of appreciation for those who'd like to do that. And as a full-time teacher, I appreciate that. I appreciate you all sharing with me. I don't have any kind of set fee for my classes because I want everybody to be able to come regardless of their financial situation. And that's why I do it that way. So I trust that the Holy Spirit and those in here who see value in what I do and are moved to share will share. Thank you. Yep. And would you say, I am sustained by the love of God? I am sustained by the love of God. So when you say I am sustained by the love of God, it does not mean, from a Course in Miracles perspective, it doesn't mean you are sustained by loving God. I'll say that again. I am sustained by the love of God from a Course perspective doesn't mean I am. Do you know some people would actually resent me receiving because they think because I'm teaching something spiritual, I'm not supposed to receive money to eat and house and clothe myself because God does things through channels. So I'm just letting you know, I believe I deserve to receive as much as anybody else does.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I do. I'm not, and so those of you who see value and you do that, thank you. Those of you who don't, that's okay. But I don't think there's anything wrong with receiving when you're giving, especially. So thank you for sharing. Those of you online that would like to make a financial expression of appreciation, just go to my website, earlpurdy.com. And you can also use Venmo, which some people suggested, by using my email address, earlpurdy@earlpurdy.com. Also, I'm an astrologer and a numerologist and been doing the course for 40 years. And astrology and numerology longer than that. It was what got me on a spiritual path. You all did not come here without a blueprint, without a divine plan. You weren't just dropped here without talents, lessons, things that could make your experience easier. That's one of the things that I can share with people who are open to it. And if you're not, that's okay. There are other ways using the Course in Miracles and other things. So when I say a clarity session, it includes everything I know and everything I've learned. Bring it into the personal session with you. If you want to find out more about it, go to my website and it explains it in detail, and you can even book a session right there from the website.
You don't have any no.
All right. Okay. And sign up for the contact list because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff online this year. Classes, workshops, and things like that. 3 Facebook Live classes a week. So even if you don't have to have Facebook to watch these live videos. You don't have to have a Facebook account. You just go to www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. Okay, so just type in that link, and whether you're a Facebook member or not, you can watch the live broadcast. Earl Purdy Live. www.facebook.com/Earl Purdy Live. On Tuesday nights, I do the Way of Mastery. If you haven't checked that out, you need to. 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesdays. And then on Thursdays, I do what I call Hardcore Course in Miracles, which is aimed specifically toward people who are studying it. So it takes advantage of my almost 40 years of teaching this. That's Thursday nights. Then on Sundays, we do this broadcast every Sunday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, where we get a chance to come together physically. And I love that. So I want to thank you for coming, because it wouldn't be any point of doing this way for people if nobody came. So I need you as much as you need me. I need you as much as you need me. But I love you too much to make you responsible for my happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I want to be easy. I want to be easy.
All right, Earl.
Thank you. I've been told. Spoken like another sage. Anybody with that?
It was a complete compliment.
That's the way I took it. That's exactly the way I took it. I know. I feel so blessed, and you're so blessed. We're so blessed to have each other. So before we finish right quick, one thing you heard today that you'd like to remember is anybody. You can. I am sustained by the love of God.
When you love yourself, you're always going in the direction of what you can have.
When you love yourself, you're always going in the direction of what you can have.
That our relationships are a reflection of how we see God.
What, said again?
In our relationships, whatever relationship we're having is a reflection of how we see God.
That's right. That's right. The way we see each other, our relationship with each other, is according to the Course, is a reflection of our relationship with the Source. Yeah. Anybody else?
We have a tendency to turn a special relationship into a weapon.
We have a tendency to turn it. That's right. We have a tendency to turn our special relationship into a weapon that we use against ourselves. Yeah. That we used to. Because now we're ready to do it differently. Patricia.
That we need to use our relationships to better know God.
We need to use our relationships as a way to wake up to who we really are and to know our Creator and the truth. That's the real reason to have a relationship. Is to use it as a tool for awakening.
My desire for a special relationship with any of my brothers is actually a real desire for a special relationship with my father.
That's right. That's right. Shannon.
I want to be more attracted to peace than to pain.
I'm willing to be more attracted to peace, attracted to peace and to pain. Now, okay, here we go. This world is the opposite of love, being made to be its opposite. And everything here takes a direction exactly opposite to what is true. In love, in heaven, which is love, in reality, where the meaning of love is known, love is the same as union. Love is the same as union. Let's say it together. Love is the same as union. Say what? Love is the same as union. I say love is the same as union. You are so innocent, so innocent. The message of a real relationship is that you may make mistakes, and mistakes are for correction, loving correction. But the message you want to give the people that you're in a true spiritual relationship is that you are innocent. Not guilty, you are innocent. Yeah, you are innocent. You are innocent. You am innocent. What about I am? I am innocent. So underneath any guilt or anger that you may feel, there's a priceless treasure. You are a priceless treasure. And in a real relationship, that's the message. All right, thank you for coming. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Hugs are available. Those of you online, love you, appreciate you. And may the course be with you.